Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be trying out some new makeup. So all of this is from my Sephora sale haul. If you saw that, it was part one. So this is most of the stuff that you saw in that video. We're going to try as much of it out today as we can. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope you'll subscribe and let's just get into trying the new makeup. I am so excited. Let's get into it. First thing we're gonna try is this primer from Hourglass. So this is the Vanish Airbrush Primer. I kind of mentioned this in my haul video. So I asked for you guys to give me your opinion on this, and some of you said you loved it, and then some of you said you didn't really notice much difference from it. Okay, so I'm not sure how much to use. I guess I'm gonna do 2 pumps and start applying it. Doesn't really have a smell, which I like. So it feels pretty smoothing, like kind of like a silicone primer, but it's definitely not as silicone-y as some of the primers I've tried before, but it does still feel like it's kind of smoothing over my skin. So that primer's been on for like 2 minutes. My face feels very smooth, almost like a velvety kind of texture. Feels good though. I can definitely see, especially if you have oily skin or you have a lot of texture, I could definitely see hopefully where this would smooth over your skin. It is definitely super mattifying. It definitely took away the glow that I had on my face. So that can definitely be a good thing depending on what you're putting over the top. But I don't know. We'll see how it does with foundation over the top. I do not have a new color corrector or anything. Typically now is when I would do that, but let's just go ahead and do foundation. So I do have the new NARS Tinted Moisturizer. We're not going to use that one today. I will use that in another video, but I am dying to try this, the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I have been reading your comments on my haul video, and surprisingly, a lot of you said you really liked this foundation. I can't believe I've gone this long and haven't gotten it before now, but here we are. So this is shade light number 5. Beautiful packaging, very heavy, very expensive looking. I love gold. I love the black and gold vibe of Pat McGrath. So let's just go for it. I keep forgetting this is a very liquidy foundation, as you can see. So that was 1 pump. Let's just go in. I have no idea if a little bit of this goes a long way or not. So I'm just gonna dot it on. Let me actually zoom you in. All right, I have a little bit left on the back of my hand, but I'll start with this. Shade match, I think, is pretty good. And I'm using the BK Beauty 106 brush. I didn't get a new foundation brush to try, so I'm just gonna use one that I know that I like. So this is very, very thin. I don't know why in the store, when I was swatching this, I remember thinking, oh, it's a pretty thin formula, but it's even thinner than I thought it was. I'm gonna get what's left on the back of my hand on my brush and just try to build up the coverage a little bit. The coverage is, I would say, like a light, kind of between a light and a medium coverage, light medium at this point. Okay, so here it is. It's kind of distracting with my under eyes with no corrector because I don't bring foundation under there, but we'll just ignore that for now. So this is 1 pump, very pretty, very natural looking, very like your skin but better kind of vibe to it. I do want to see if it's buildable. I was looking this up online to see what Sephora says, and they say it's a medium coverage natural finish. I would say right now it looks more matte than natural. Not like super matte, but definitely a little more matte than I would say a natural finish. But I think that's definitely from the Hourglass primer underneath. So I'm gonna get a little bit more. This was like half a pump, and I just wanna see if this is buildable or not. Or if I even like it built up. Some foundations, you know, the more you build them up, the finish and the overall look of the foundation kind of changes. Some foundations just don't build well. So I want to test this one. Got that. I'm going to get what is left and add it over here. I definitely think we have more of medium coverage now. Definitely pretty matte looking on my skin. But again, I think it's the Hourglass primer. I would love to know if you have this foundation, what primer do you use it with, or do you not use primer at all? I would love to try this with like the Say Glowy Super Gel underneath, or more of a luminous primer, just to see how that would change it. Because I have a feeling this may be one of those foundations that really takes on the finish of what you have underneath. I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm thinking right now. But I like it, definitely. Very pretty, very natural. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna do a little bit of corrector under my eyes. I don't have a new one, so I'm gonna do that quick and then I'll come back and we will move on to concealer. Much better. If you're wondering, I used the Pixie color corrector today. I'm actually very into this one right now. I've been reaching for this one a ton. Makes such a big difference. Anyway, let's move on to concealer. Now I have two concealers and I don't know which one to use. I don't know if I should just use one on each eye or if I should use just one. So I have the Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Concealer in the shade C180. So I'm gonna swatch these next to each other just to see. This color in the store looked really good to me, but then we also have the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer in the shade L6. Okay, so yeah, there's a big difference. This one is more yellow, this one is more pink. This is the Givenchy, this is the Pat McGrath. Okay, we're gonna use the Givenchy one because this is one of the things I've been the most excited to try. So let's go in with this. I'll do this side first. I don't know actually if this is full coverage or not. Okay, I'm gonna blend it with the 110 from BK Beauty. I just looked this up and this is described as a medium coverage with a radiant finish on Sephora. There you go, very easy to blend in. I actually like that color. I can definitely see why they say it's radiant. The finish, as of right now, does look pretty radiant under my eyes, especially compared to like this part of my face that's more matte. But color is very good. I definitely agree this is probably a medium coverage since I do have corrector underneath. I definitely think just by applying it, if you went in with this with no corrector, or if I did, I definitely would not get the coverage that I like. Overall, it looks nice. I guess we'll do Pat McGrath on the other side. So we're gonna go in with Pat McGrath. Okay, yeah, so I'm pretty sure they describe this as a pink undertone, shade 6. That does not look pink to me. It looks the exact opposite of pink. All right, I'm switching to a different brush. We're just gonna use this, the Real Techniques setting brush. So I said in my haul, I've tried this concealer before and I liked it. I did not love the shade that I had before, and now I can't remember what shade it was. I know it wasn't this one, but I do remember when I had the concealer, I did like the formula. We have Pat McGrath over here and Givenchy over here. I definitely prefer the look of the Givenchy side, but I think that's the color, not the concealer. Yeah, so the Givenchy still looks pretty radiant. I will say it does look like it set down a little bit, and the Pat McGrath already looks pretty matte. I like them both. I wish the Pat McGrath wasn't so yellow. Let me look this shade up and see what it says about it. Yeah, this concealer, L6 says it's pink neutral undertones. Does that look pink to you? That does not look pink to me at all. Very different concealers, but honestly, they both finish-wise look nice. I still like the Givenchy side a little bit better. I'm gonna let these kind of sit for a while and we'll see what we think in a little bit. Gonna move on to bronzer now. I do not have a new powder to use, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my face very lightly with whatever powder I have sitting here. Then we'll move on to bronzer and blush. I guess I'll go ahead and film me powdering my face too, since I'm gonna use my brush that I got in the sale. This is not my new one, this is the one that I've had, but this is the Sephora 55 Pro Foundation brush, and I love it. It is so nice for powder products, but I typically just use it to set my face, so I'm just lightly, very, very lightly going over my face with the Kosas powder, just to make sure everything we apply on top applies well and doesn't get patchy. But if you need a new powder brush, this one is very good from Sephora. Okay, let's do bronzer. We're gonna try the Haus Labs Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. My Pat McGrath bronzer still is not here. Actually, it hasn't even shipped yet, and I ordered it almost a week ago. I'm so anxious to get that bronzer, but it's not here yet. So we're gonna use this one. This is the shade Light Number 3. There is number 3, light number 3. Hopefully it's not too warm. I like a warm bronzer, but not like orangey warm. All right, I do have the new Patrick Ta brush with the cream side and the powder side, but I'm gonna say I wanna use this with the Patrick Ta product, and I'm not using that today, so we'll save that, but that will be coming. I'm gonna try and use the 111 from BK Beauty to apply this bronzer. This texture is so interesting. I'm not really sure what kind of brush would work best with this, but we're gonna give this one a try. I still can't put my finger on what this formula reminds me of, but it is just, I don't know, it's very different. Okay, I think this color is okay, actually. I was worried it was gonna be too warm, but I think it's fine. So I'm just kind of stamping this on because I don't want to disrupt the makeup underneath. This is very, very interesting. It doesn't even apply like a typical powder bronzer. I'm gonna have to clip my hair out of my way because it's annoying me. Very, very interesting. Very pretty and natural looking. I mean, it applies really easily. This brush worked pretty well, the 111. It does not look powdery. It doesn't really look like a powder bronzer on my skin. I actually really like that color. It's warm, but not too warm. I feel like I have a little bit of glow on my cheeks now. I don't know if it's from this or not, but I kind of like it. I like the finish of it. Have you guys tried this bronzer? Let me know what you think. They have a really good shade range in these bronzers. I was noticing that in store when I was swatching them, which isn't good. I can't stand, sometimes bronzers are tricky with undertones. Sometimes they're too dark, sometimes they don't make them light enough, they don't make them dark enough. Sometimes they're too warm, too orangey. This bronzer, they had a lot of variety in the undertones from what I could tell. The reason I have been buying a lot of powder bronzers lately is because I realized I have a lot of cream bronzers that I love, like love, holy grail status, like the Westman Atelier, I love the Makeup by Mario bronzer, the Skin Enhancer, and the stick, I love the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer. I just feel like I have so many creams that I love, but I can't say that about a ton of my powder bronzers. So I'm kind of on the quest to find like my absolute favorite powder bronzer from Sephora. So we'll see. I will definitely be trying the Haus or the Pat McGrath bronzer when it comes, but we're still waiting on it. Okay, let's do the blush. So this is also from Haus Labs, the Color Fuse blush in the shade Hibiscus Haze. So this is the one that, it's a pink, but it's kind of, it reminds me of fruit punch. When I see this color, I think of fruit punch. I don't know why, but that's what this shade reminds me of. So it looks like that. And I mentioned in my haul, such a pretty color. I planned to get the bright pink one, and then at the last minute, I decided to go with this one. Hopefully I end up liking it. I'm very curious about this formula. I guess in the swatch, the formula feels like the bronzer. I'm gonna use this Smashbox Buildable Cheek Brush first, since it's a little bit fluffier and I don't really know how much pigment I'm gonna get here. Okay, yeah, so definitely do not need a super dense brush. I was about to use something like this. That would have been too much. But, ooh, I actually really like that color, you guys. Ooh, I like that a lot. So that applied so seamlessly, like very, very easy. Now I'm probably gonna wanna get the pink one, huh? Okay, yeah, this is a very nice powder blush formula. Ooh, I love that color actually. Do you guys like this? Don't you think it looks like fruit punch? Easy to blend, love the color, very pigmented. 10 out of 10 on that. Okay, one more thing I want to show you. This is not from Sephora. I think they had it at Sephora at one point, but I found this at Marshall's the other day, and it's the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Skin Highlighter in Venusian Nude, and I want to try it. So I have never tried a Pat McGrath highlighter either, and luckily, I guess when I found this, they must have just put it out because no one had touched it. It looked like brand new. So we are gonna try this today. So packaging looks like this, but this color just looked so pretty, you guys. Look at this. Ooh, it's like it's kind of a champagne with a little bit of gold. Look at that. Do you see that? How could I not buy this? All right, I think I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty highlighter brush. Wow, okay. That looks just like wet skin. I feel like this would be really pretty on the eyes as eyeshadow too. I wanted to use a little bit of this just since most of what I have on my face is pretty matte right now. I'm telling you, you can find, sometimes you can find hidden gems at Marshall's, TJ Maxx. Not always, but sometimes. I am gonna go ahead and fill in my brows, and then I'll come back and we'll move on to the eye. Filled in my brows. I put a little bit of eye primer on my eyes, and we're gonna move on to some eye products. So I have a bunch of these, and I'm not sure how many I'm gonna be able to use all at once. I have the Color Chameleon stick from Charlotte Tilbury. I have the Bobbi Brown dual-ended cream shadow sticks. I have a new eyeliner from Give. And then I also have the Hourglass Scattered Light Reflect pigment. Let's go in with the Bobbi Brown shadow stick first. So this is one of the dual-ended sticks. So you get two shades. One is Cashew and one is Pink Copper. Cashew is a matte shade. I will insert swatches here so you can see them. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna take Cashew on my lid. I'm gonna use a MAC 217 brush to just blend this in a little bit, kind of blending it upward into the crease. That's just a really light, kind of like a camely brown. Add a little bit more if you want. The thing with these shadow sticks is they do not budge after you've let them kind of set down, they don't budge, I'm telling you. All day, these will stay on your eyes. It's a really nice color. Do the other eye. I think they had 5 different color stories in these. They were all really pretty. I'm gonna take the pink copper side and I'm just gonna layer a little bit of this over the Cashew shade, kind of right in the center. If you layer it over that color, that shade doesn't look as pink. It kind of blends in a little bit to the Cashew color, but on its own, it's a little bit more of a rose gold. These are just really quick and easy, and I love that they did these dual-ended options. All right, now I'm gonna do the Amber Haze from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna use this, I think, kind of like eyeliner. So I'm just gonna kind of scribble a little bit on the outer half of my eye or my lash line. I'm gonna take that brush. This is the same brush, the 217 from MAC. And just kind of go back and forth and blend it out. Oh yeah, the color's pretty. I think actually this shade, yeah, Amber Haze, it actually says that it was made for brown eyes, but I think honestly anybody could wear this color. It's really, really pretty. Add a little bit more to the very corner and go over it again and just kind of smoke that wing out just a little bit. Pretty. I also think this would be really pretty all over as like a bronze smoky eye. But I want to use as many of these things as I can today, so. This purchase was definitely influenced by Lisa J. She uses this color all the time. It looks so good on her. Love that, super pretty. I think I'm actually gonna take the pink copper end and apply this on my lower lash line. And then I'm just gonna kind of blend over it with that same MAC brush. I really just need to use this Hourglass Scattered Light. I just need to try it. I feel like it would be a shame not to put some of this on my eye. So this is the shade Reflect. So I am just gonna take a little bit of this. Oh yes, this is exactly the kind of thing that I love. Perfect neutral, like glittery topper for literally any eye look. Oh, so pretty. Love that. Since we're here, I'm just gonna apply, I think, a little bit of this green eyeliner from Give. This is the Line It Up 24-Hour Gel Pencil Eyeliner in Greener Pastures. We have a lot on our eyes, so I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see about the color, but I just kind of want to apply it since we're using tons of new stuff. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this to my lash line. I really want to use this on its own at some point to see how green, if I could do maybe like a whole green eye look with just this. This formula is really nice. I mentioned in my haul video, I was kind of testing these out in the store in Sephora, and the swatches that I put on my hands lasted for a very long time. So kind of want to see how long it lasts on my eyes too. Love that color. It's like a mossy green, really pretty. Okay, I do not have a new mascara, so I'm going to do that quickly and then we'll finish up with let's finish up with the lips. If you're wondering, the mascara I used is the Rare Beauty mascara that I'm loving right now. Let's move on to lips. I have the new, or it's new to me, Gucci Glow and Care lip color because apparently I lost my mind and swatched this and came home with me. This was not on my radar at all. So we're gonna see if it's worth the price tag, but I did realize I have a new lip liner and I think I left this out of the haul, but it's the Huda Beauty Lip Contour in the shade Pinky Brown. I don't know how I lost it in the haul, but I did. So that is the color there. I've tried these before, but not this shade. So let's use this today. I actually really like this Huda Beauty formula. It's creamy, but it's very matte, and they last really well on me. So let's go into this now, the Glow and Care lip color in the shade Call It a Day 214. So it looks like this. Of course, it's beautiful packaging, as it should be for the price. Okay, I love the color. It feels like a really luxurious tinted lip balm on my lips. It's not tingly or anything. It's not glittery at all. So I don't know, was it worth the money? Probably not, but we came home with it anyway. All right, you guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I do wanna quickly go through the products, kind of give you my initial thoughts on them. First up with the primer. I like the primer so far. I wanna test it though with other foundations, especially because I'm not super familiar with the Pat McGrath foundation. I wanna see how it works with some of my other favorites, like my light reflecting from NARS or really glowy foundations. I would like to try that with. Next time I use it, I would also maybe just use one pump and only put it like in this area and not all over my face. Because I do think, I mean, it did exactly what it says, which is it smoothed my face, mattified everything. It pretty much took away all the glow, but I did apply it everywhere. So I'd like to play around with that a little bit more, but so far I like it, but I need to play with it a bit more. The Pat McGrath foundation, I really like this. I think with a different primer underneath, especially, not that I don't like it with the primer underneath, I think it just took away the natural finish of this just a little bit. So I'd like to see it on its own or with a glowier primer underneath. But I think color match is very good for me in light number 5. I like how thin and lightweight it is. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of my NARS light reflecting foundation. Not saying they're exactly the same, but it definitely reminds me of that one, which is definitely a good thing. So I liked it, but we got to keep trying it. I'll let you know. I do plan to do, and several of you requested this, since I bought a lot of makeup here, obviously, at the sale, and this is only part 1, believe it or not. There is a part 2 coming. I'm just waiting for everything to come in the mail, but I am gonna do in a few weeks a video just updating you on this haul because we have so many things and I want to obviously test them out more and let you know what I think. So that will be coming here in the next few weeks. But moving on to concealers. So we tried the Givenchy and the Pat McGrath. So Givenchy was this side, Pat McGrath was this side. I wanna look up close at them. I never did set them with powder, so this is just how they are with nothing. Honestly, both sides look pretty good, to be totally honest. I do still feel the Pat McGrath is more matte, which they do say, so I'm not surprised about that. The Givenchy side looks more matte, but definitely not as matte as Pat McGrath. It definitely has a little bit of that radiant finish left under my eyes, but I like both. I need to play around with them. I do prefer the color of the Givenchy of the two. Very hard to judge a concealer just from using it one time. Let me know what you think of the two sides. The Haus Labs bronzer, I like that a lot. I think that formula, like I said earlier, is very unique. It is a powder, but for some reason it doesn't look like powder on your skin. It's very smooth, buttery, and I do think it gives a little bit of radiance to your skin. It's not a matte bronzer, but it's not a glittery, shimmery bronzer either. I don't know, but I kind of like the finish that it gave, and it applied really, really well. I will definitely compare it to the Pat McGrath bronzer when I get it. One of the things I'm the most excited and happy about, I think, is this, the Haus Labs blush. You guys, this is 10 out of 10. Absolutely stunning color. Hibiscus Haze, very pretty. This is a very pigmented blush, but it applies beautifully. I think if you're worried about these being too much for you, too pigmented, I definitely think you just need to apply it with a fluffier brush like I did earlier. I used this one from Smashbox. So nice. Really easy, seamless application, not patchy at all. 10 out of 10. Now I really want the hot pink one. Do I need the hot pink one? No. Will I get the hot pink one? Probably. We will see. Eye products. We used the Bobbi Brown eye stick. Those I've been using for a long time. I love those two shades. Of the two, I probably like the Cashew shade more. It's very like all over one and done shadow kind of color. But I do like the pink side. I like to use the pink on its own next time just so we can see it a bit better. It's kind of hard to see it over the top of the Cashew color, but I love that they did these in double-ended sticks. Super nice. Okay, where is it? The Charlotte Tilbury Color Chameleon. Very, very nice. You can't see a ton of it because I have so many things on my eyes, but very creamy, very, very easy to apply. Super pretty bronzy golden color. I think honestly any eye color could wear this and like it. Same with the Give liner. I feel like today it doesn't look super green on my eyes. I'm guessing it's because I have so many things layered on top. But this formula, you guys, is very nice. If you're looking for a nude gel eyeliner, we'll see how it wears obviously on me. I don't know about how it performs yet on my eyes, but it's very creamy. And when you swatch these, they don't go anywhere. They stay through washing your hands, showering, they don't budge. Okay, the thing that really I'm so happy I bought this, the Hourglass Scattered Light. How have I not had this before now? I love this. I will definitely continue to use this all the time. I mean, come on. How pretty is that color? I mean, you could add this to literally anything and it will look luxe. Beautiful, glossy, shimmery, wet eyelids. I love it. So that's probably the eye product I'm the most excited about. Okay, the Huda lip liner. I bought it mainly because I like the color. I already have one of these. Very nice, but obviously I have tons of lip liners that I love. You don't have to get that one, but I do like it. This Gucci lipstick, you guys, it is beautiful. I love the color. It's very comfortable on the lips. Hopefully it lasts pretty well. I mean, this type of lip product, you typically kind of have to apply over and over, but I like the feel of it. It's not sticky, very thin. I love the color. Was it worth the price? Probably not, but it's pretty and we have it. So we're gonna use it. And you know, sometimes you just need a good bougie lip moment, you know? So there you have it. And I love the color. So I think that's everything, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching this video. I do have some other things coming, like I said. I know I didn't try the NARS Tinted Moisturizer, and a lot of you want to know about that. So I will definitely try it in the next few videos. So don't worry, it's coming. And be on the lookout for part 2 of what comes from my online order. But thank you for being here. I will list and link everything below for you. They are affiliated links, so if you do shop through them, I do earn a commission that helps support me and my channel. So thank you so much if you do choose to do that. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and follow me on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1, and I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you.